Hi Libra, Dadhichi here. It's July 2018. You know, there might be a couple of reasons why you're feeling a little lethargic, or I might even say exhausted. Take a look here at your ruling planet, Venus. Oh, what happened? We just lost Venus for some reason. Oh, there it is. That may happen later in the month, and the reason for that is the movement of, and let's get the chart moving. You'll see it here as it moves into this 12th house of the zodiac. Up until then, you'll be considerably sociable here, shown by the planet moving here in the 11th house, along with communicative Mercury and the North Node. So this also gives you the opportunity for new cultural interchanges, and this occurs around the 10th, just before the new moon. Take a look at this. The new moon here is going to take place in your 10th house of profession on the 13th, just after that very significant transit of your ruler into this 12th house. Now the 12th house is a low-key part of the zodiac, but on top of that, you'll notice that your ruler is moving through the sign of Virgo, and that is its weakest position. We don't consider it a totally damaging placement for Venus, because Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, is quite friendly to it. But we can see there's a bit of a dip in the energy levels, and notwithstanding the fact that there's a lot of activity here in the first week or two in the 11th house of sociable activities, straight after that, around the 10th onward, no matter what's going on in the rest of the horoscope here, you're going to feel this undercurrent of sort of just leave me alone, let me just work on myself. And the new moon there shows us that on the 13th, this could very much be focused on your professional activities. There could be some new management in place, new people coming, old people going, a shake-up in terms of the system and the methodology. But that's normally more to do with this 6th house. But we see there again on the 14th this upswing in your social activities, imaginative, and the moon then gives you that chance to take a break around the 16th and 17th when the moon is transiting into this area. It also shows us connections of your work with foreign places, or working from a quiet location, maybe from home. And then an upswing again in your financial activities around the 20th when the moon connects with Jupiter. That's lucky. That gives you the opportunity, as we see from the transit of the sun on the 22nd or so, moving into the 11th house of profitability, fulfillment of one's goals, that there are two aspects there. And look, as the moon moves out of that position, it comes into the trine aspect of the sun. Being a negotiable house, the 3rd house is the house of communications, short journeys, neighbourhoods. We can see here that there's a favourable connection between the sun and the moon. We saw earlier around the 13th that new moon in the 10th house, but here we see it swinging around, opening up and giving you the chance to practically negotiate maybe better income, which we see here, by the way, with Jupiter, which has been in your 2nd house of finance, nicely aspecting Neptune from your 6th house of work. And here also that low-key Venus, your ruler, also creating that nice sextile aspect to Jupiter here. So a few favourable influences indicate a better opportunity for your cash flow, for your banking, for income, new opportunities in your work and that sort of thing. You're probably wondering where the relationship stuff is. Well, a bit of a down period again here with Moon and Saturn on the 25th in your domestic sphere. That could be a little rough around the edges, but it picks up again, and more energy and drive, notwithstanding the fact that your ruler is still in the 12th when the moon makes contact here in the 5th house. That's creative. It gives you a bit more drive. You may still want to stay in, away from the maddening crowd, but that's a time when you can see an improvement in your creative and expressive talents. It's also quite competitive having Mars in this area and retrograde. I haven't mentioned that. But take a look also at the very sensitive, idealistic and intuitive combination of the Moon with Neptune there in your 6th house in favourable contact to that financial Jupiter. Trust your intuition at this time. If there's an opportunity that you can hop on, do so, because it will bring benefits. We're getting to the end of the month there. We see that right at the tail end there, we'll just go back there, it actually moves back to where it was at the beginning of the month. So there's a repeat of what was going on. But one thing I'd like to finish up on is this 5th house competitiveness and romantic thing, which I didn't want to leave you empty-handed. This full moon takes place here in the 5th house, and with Mars there are ample opportunities for you, especially if you're single, to maybe go out there, meet someone that you can really connect with on a heart level. Astrology.com.au is my site. I welcome all of you to take a look at that and get more information on what's happening this month, and for that matter for the rest of the year and for your whole life. If you'd like to find out in a more detailed reading what's going on and what your karmic path is, we welcome you to do that. And of course I'll see you here next month. Bye bye.